Though, as I say, my name's Chris Murphy, the speaking mentor, but what do I do outside of work? Well, I have a passion that if ever I'm not at home, you'll find me down my allotment. I love growing vegetables. The challenge of battling the weather and being able to produce vegetables that we put on the plate and eat and say, I grew that. And they taste better. So for me, outdoors is a real passion, and again, growing things. But what about indoors? Well, my wife and I bought a house here in Tunbridge Wells that was a total wreck, and I spent about 2 years rebuilding it. We remember standing in the hall once. We were standing on mud. There was nothing on the walls, no electricity, no gas, no plaster. Everything had been stripped out. And we looked up and we could see the sky. And we looked at each other and said, maybe we've made a mistake here. But I spent about 2 years rebuilding the house, learned loads of skills, a few trips to A&E, and now we have a beautiful house, and I have lots more practical skills in terms of DIY. I don't necessarily want to do too much more of that now. And so I've moved into another area that could be described as nerdy. My wife looks at me when I'm practicing this new hobby and just says, "You are interesting." And that is lock picking. So I get padlocks and I get picks and I try and break open locks. And I used to do it and I got out the habit, and now I'm back into it and I love it. It's really intricate. You've got to get the feel for the lock. There's the mechanical aspect of it. And so for me, that problem solving thing, I adore. And I guess that's why it comes into my work so much. I don't see each person as a problem, but it's understanding the individual intricacies of them and how I can help them. So hopefully that gives you a bit more insight into me, outdoorsy, bit nerdy, quite practical. That's Chris Murphy, the speaking mentor, aka